Hello there, and welcome back to the Smell of Logic channel where we read Reddit stories. These are Encounters with Spirits, Part 2. I am Ramona, and here we go. Ready? Story 1. There's a house near, I'm going to butcher this word, this name, Vijayanagara in Bengaluru. It's a three-floor house. The topmost floor has only a room and an attached bathroom. It's ideal for bachelors. It's rented by a friend of mine. Ever since he started staying there, he has complained about not being able to sleep well. He always seems tired. He didn't read much into it. Neither did we care so much about his sleep, true Mitras we all were to him. One day, he went back to his native place. No one would be using that room for a week, so I borrowed the key to the room because I thought I could study there better for my upcoming exams. I lived with my parents, and reading in the house wasn't always easy. There's too many disturbances. So the first day I spent there, it was pretty much uneventful. Nothing out of the ordinary. I don't know what happened, but even I couldn't sleep that well, sort of like an uneasiness. I didn't read too much into it. The second night, shit got real. I slept after studying. I dreamt of this girl standing on my chest and crying uncontrollably. As it is, I was feeling suffocated, and the girl's cry was unbearable. No matter what I said or did, she didn't budge at all. I felt as if she had lost everything in life. That feeling was depressing. I could feel myself crying even though I was still in a semi-dreaming state. Thankfully, I woke up from this horrid experience, and I felt as if I had a great weight that had been lifted from my chest. I was so scared I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I just kept awake until the day and went back home. I grew up in this part of Bangalore. I have many friends from the same locality. When I met someone from that locality, I came to know that the room was used by a girl who had committed suicide long ago. The reasons for her suicide were something that nobody knew. I had not shared my experience of that night with my friend who originally rented that room, but when I came to know about that suicide, I did confide in him. Even if he had the same dream of that girl, not every day, but once in a while, in his dream she would be near the window, crying like hell. He didn't read too much into it, and the dreams were also once in a while. But the vibes were there every day. He just couldn't sleep peacefully there. He left the place. To this day, when we meet, we talk about it. But I still don't know why she was standing on my chest and not his. Story 2. I work in the U.S. shift, and today I slept at 5 a.m. Today I am having dreams of a snake infestation in my old house, and a snake attacked me in a projectile style. I woke up, and I am like I don't want to sleep anymore. And now this. Story 3. We were in the 10th grade, and I used to live in the MEG Kent. One evening, after some grueling games of cricket, we decided to get some soft drinks and chicken puffs nearby from Coxtown. Since we were all sweaty and already tired, we wanted to just relax. It was around 8 p.m. We went to call Powley, since we knew a gravedigger, and he opened the gates for us. We sat on the first grave and started discussing the matches and started eating and drinking our refreshments. That was when this happened. One guy came to us and said, "Today you were on top of her grave. Tomorrow you'll be below." We were absolutely effed in our brains. We ran to the tiger, the gravedigger, and asked him who that person was. He told us there's no such person here. We effing all ran, and we all went to a teammate's house and had cold shivers that night. Story 4. Not a ghostly experience or anything, but in Hindu culture, it's believed that our deceased ancestors come in the form of crows. When Grandma was there, when things would get heated, she would be the one to restore order. One day, there was a fight at midnight, and literally a crow was cawing. We had a puja at 6 in the morning, and we saw 2 crows nearby. We believe it's my grandparents. It's a whole different thing, though. Story 5. My first break back from college, I was leaving the kitchen with my head down and saw my grandpa, mom's side, leg standing right in front of me in the doorway. Stepped back in surprise, and when I looked again, no one was standing there. He passed before I graduated from high school, so it was nice to see him check in on me. Also, I would smell cigarette smoke when no one was around. He was a big smoker. Story 6. I have seen things a lot over the years, but one particular time stands out to me because it happened to my brother on the same night. So, in one of the houses we lived in as kids, my brother and my bedroom were adjacent to each other. I could see straight down the passage, and his room was just a view of the passage as well. Anyway, we had massive storms one winter, and I suddenly woke up and saw a woman in white, a white nightgown, standing at my door. I actually thought it was my mom checking on us. When I called out, the figure just started to walk away. I wasn't too freaked out and just rolled over and went to sleep. Years later, my brother and I are now grown-ups. We were talking spooky stuff and weird things we'd seen. He told me about a night in which some weird figure in a white nightgown came and sat on his bed. He stayed hidden under the covers and was extremely freaked out. On a hunch, I asked him if there was a massive storm outside when it happened, and he said yes. So we're pretty sure we were visited on the same night by something. Not sure what it was, but it sure was spooky. Story 7. I stayed in a haunted hotel one night. I didn't know it was haunted. I heard fingers rapping on the nightstand, and when I came back, the curtain on the closet was open and all the lights were on. I thought it was the hotel staff pranking me. Story 8. I could write a book. There's always a book. I will say that it has happened over the last week. Every night, my son has something knocking at his door. It's not at the same time. It's just two quick knocks. He had two friends over, and they were playing video games, and his friends heard it. One of them was about to open the door to go use the bathroom. He opened the door, and there was no one there. The other thing we have happening is a mimic. I have heard my wife saying my name from the other room. She will get up to see what she wants, and she isn't there. She isn't even home. She's been at the store with my son, and they took the dog for a walk. Story 9. Yes. Laying awake with a sibling, staring into the hallway, trying to fall asleep, we saw a lady in white walking, and I gasped. When I did, she stopped and turned toward me. We froze, and she walked through a wall. There are many paranormal things that I've experienced, many with others present. Story 10. I've had a few, but my most memorable one was when I started working nights at a nursing home. I was ironing patients' clothes when the owner, who lived upstairs, passed me and went into the kitchen. Nothing unusual. About half an hour later, the owner came down and started talking to me. She was just going to go get some milk. Obviously, I was a bit confused. Firstly, I didn't remember her coming back from the kitchen earlier, and she'd changed from a brown to a green one. I brought this up, and she asked, since when did I see her in brown? She doesn't own a brown anything. Then she said, ah, you must have seen Mary. We didn't have a Mary, a patient, or a staff member. I apologized, saying I didn't know that she had visitors. She said, oh no, Mary used to be the home's cook. She had passed away before I started working there. The way she said it was just so offhand and a little unnerving. Story 11. No sighting, but I did feel my grandfather's presence in his house about 4 or 5 years after he passed. I was spending the weekend with my grandmother. She had gone to bed, so I was staying up late, watching TV in the den downstairs. I went to use the bathroom, and when I came back, I felt his presence there. No sight or sound, just the feeling that he was there. This was a room he spent a lot of time in, and I watched TV often with him when I was younger. I felt that still for a minute. I said hello to him, and then I went back to watching TV. So there are a few creepy, scary, entertaining encounters. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, maybe a comment, share it, or even subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy reading or you enjoy coloring books, go check out my Amazon authors page. There's links in the description of every single video, and I'll take you there. Maybe you can find something you like. Anyway, thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.